I Thought I Was Dreaming by Cheryl in California. This is something I never thought I'd share publicly, but I still can't sleep through the night and I guess I just need to get it out. It all started a little over a year ago. I lived alone in a quiet residential area in a mid-sized town in Northern California. My house was small, just 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and a detached garage. It was a safe, quiet street. Or so I thought. I had moved in about 2 years ago after a long relationship ended. I liked the feeling of starting over. Fresh paint, new locks, my own space. The first year was uneventful. Peaceful even. Then last fall, things started getting strange. It began with dreams. At least that's what I thought they were. I would wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, heart racing, certain I'd heard footsteps in the hallway, or the creak of the closet door, or the sound of breathing that wasn't mine. But every time I'd sit up and turn on the lamp to check the room, nothing was there. Just an overwhelming feeling of uneasiness and dread that filled the air. It happened maybe once a week. Always between 2 and 4 a.m., I started telling myself it was just anxiety or some kind of post-breakup panic attacks. I even considered buying a white noise machine to drown it out. Then things escalated. I'd wake up and find little things slightly off. My phone would be unplugged from the charger. I know I left it on. A glass I left in the sink would be gone, then later show up in the bathroom. Once, the bedroom window was open just a crack, not wide, but enough to catch a chill. Still, I doubted myself, told myself I was overtired, clumsy, or forgetful. Until one afternoon, my neighbor said something that froze my blood. I was pulling weeds in the front yard when Mrs. Alder, my next-door neighbor, walked over. She's in her 70s, lives with her cat and keeps close tabs on the neighborhood. She's sweet in that nosy old lady kind of way. We chatted for a bit, about weather, gardening, the usual, when she casually asked, "Is your boyfriend still coming around?" I blinked. "Boyfriend?" I asked. "You know," she said, waving towards my house. "The man who comes over in the middle of the night. I see him sometimes when I can't sleep. Around 2 or 3 in the morning, walking down your driveway. Tall man, dark jacket." I just stared at her. My mouth went dry. She kept going, oblivious to my shock and confusion. "I always thought it was odd he doesn't use the front door." She rambled on. "He just heads around back. Maybe your back door is easier to open." I had no words. I felt dizzy. My body went cold. I told her I didn't have a boyfriend, that no one should be coming over, that I lived alone. Her expression shifted. Uncertain. Uncomfortable. She backpedaled fast, said maybe she was mistaken, that it was probably a delivery person or something. Then she excused herself and walked away like she'd said too much. That night, I didn't sleep. I stayed up with every light on, clutching a flashlight and a kitchen knife like an idiot. The paranoia was too much, so I called the police the next day. They took a report and walked the property. They found no signs of forced entry, told me to keep my doors locked and consider getting a security system. They didn't take me seriously, at all. I told them about what my neighbor had said and pleaded with them to talk to her. Mrs. Alder, when they asked her to describe the man, was suddenly vague, said it was too dark to see much. She made an offhand comment that maybe I had a night visitor I didn't want to admit to. Suggested maybe I liked entertaining men late at night and didn't want anyone to know. When they came back to wrap up their report with me, I provided a few more details that had come to mind. The cop didn't say anything as he wrote in his notebook, but I saw the look. The okay crazy lady look. No one followed up with me after that. I installed cameras, top-of-the-line ones, but they never caught anything. Nothing on the porch, nothing in the windows, no motion alerts, not a shadow. But the dreams kept coming, the footsteps, the creaks, the sense of someone standing over me while I slept. Once, I woke up to find the bedroom door wide open, and I always closed it before bed. Another time I found a pair of my underwear, one I hadn't worn in weeks, sitting on the kitchen table. Just sitting there, neatly folded. I moved out 2 weeks later. I now live in a high-rise apartment with security, gates, and cameras in the hallways. I barely slept at all the first few weeks, but nothing happened. No dreams, no sounds, no rearranged items. It's been almost a year and I still think about what Mrs. Alder said. The man who comes over in the middle of the night. Goes around to the back. Tall man, dark jacket. I will never know who he was. How he got in. How long it had been going on. And I try not to think about what might have happened if I'd woken up one night and actually seen him. I'm still not over it and continue to have trouble sleeping through the night, but I'm hoping with time I can put the nightmare behind me.